Welcome to Season 6 of the RTG here on FIFA 21. The Youth Academy RTG, of course, where we're taking all of our youngsters and those created from other youth academies in the save and hoping to take us to the very top of the European football standings with a Champions League win and, of course, in the Premier League, top that table as well. We did come top in the Premier League last season. Of the bottom half, 11th is where we finished, and certainly we want to be finishing in the top half next year, or this year even, if not challenging for European spot via a league finish. We did, of course, get European football for this season by winning the FA Cup last year against Manchester United in extra time. That was yesterday's episode. If you missed it, do check the channel page for it. As ever, if you're looking forward to this 6th season, do drop the video a like. We haven't hit 1,000 likes in forever, so if you could do me a favour and smash that like button, that'd be very, very good of you. I'd appreciate it very much indeed. As we look to continue our journey here with Barrow, we have changed formation. Something I basically never play. It's a 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. I've actually just drifted Bull and Gonzalez slightly further wide so that they can be designated as a left wing and a right wing, but they're still very much so tucked in, purely because you guys want Tudor and Salem to maintain their partnership as my front two. So that is what I'm going to do. Currently, Mulholland is the cam with Vidal Pereira holding, but I'm going to go out and try and get that Luka Modric regen as the last ever regen that we sign in this save, and then drop Mulholland to CDM. It's actually registered as centre mid, and then put the Modric regen in at cam in this starting lineup. I haven't yet messed about with the Rotato side, but I will be doing so between now and the start of the league season. We'll be looking to loan out a number of our youth and younger players, and we're also scouting now purely for first team quality players of an age that would be from any given youth academy. So far, my scouts have only found one man. That is Lois van der Voort from Inter Milan. I'm waiting to see what his scout report looks like, but he does look like he could be pretty tasty. So we'll wait and see what he looks like. We have a £50 million budget and only really one man on the shopping list at the moment. I will remove Alvarez Goni, but Ivan Milic is my go-to for this particular season, and well, you can probably understand why, can't you? So we'll see what we do in this transfer window outside of outside of Milic, but for the time being, we are, well, as if the board want us to reach the final of the Europa League. I can't believe it. So, youth development wise, we're not going to be able to do that because nobody has progressed enough from last season to be able to play in 50% of games this year, unfortunately. Brand exposure-wise, again, just 7 clean sheets in home matches expected of us. But we only kept 3 last year, so I'm not overly confident of that. Signed 2 players from Europe is intriguing. I've not had that one before. We've had signed players from North and South America previously, but not signed 2 players from Europe. We will be looking to sign at least 1 from Europe in Milic, so that's fine. £180 million from shirt sales this year. It was 108 last year, with the 8 and the 0 the other way around, and we achieved that. 180, that really is a step up, isn't it? They want me to finish mid-table in the Premier League. We know we can do that already. I'm setting my sights higher. Round of 16 of the FA Cup, again, is all they expect there. So they're putting all of the eggs in the European basket. They want me to reach the final of the Europa League. And if you're to reach a final, you might as well go ahead and win it. So I'm going to try my best to win the Europa League this year. And that could be our route into the Champions League if we can't finish top 4 in the Premier League, just as the FA Cup was our route into the Europa League when we couldn't finish in a high enough spot in the Premier League to get European football. We might be going through the back door into Europe on 2 occasions here with a decent budget. Pre-season is hopefully going to be pretty straightforward. Into Miami and International should be pretty easy. We've a very busy month of August, however, with the Community Shield there against Manchester City, then City again in the league, and Man United, and Arsenal, and Leicester. That's quite a tough start to the league season. Whilst we're still here in this intro piece, I am now going to go out and try and sign Milic. I presume it's Milic, actually, being Croatian, and we'll try and bring him in and get him into the starting lineup. 12 million is his valuation. I will offer that valuation, and I wouldn't be surprised if they ask for much more. Oh. They want Ruben Vidal Pereira, the Sergio Ramos regen. Now, I'm not willing to let him go as things stand, but that is intriguing that they've set their eyes. Alright, £13 million. Intriguing that they set their eyes on Vidal Pereira, because we've not seen any interest in him whatsoever to this point in the save. He's on not much a week currently at West Ham, and hopefully we can offer him something similar, and he'll be happy enough with that here. Only 75 rated currently, but obviously with the potential to be special and get himself into the early 90s. So we'll time down for a decent amount of time, and hopefully he'll be... I'd rather not have a release clause if you don't mind. Hopefully he can be a revelation for us in midfield. He's only 75 rated overall, but with those physical stats, he could really have an exceptional role to play in this starting lineup. So unfortunately from Vidal Pereira, Hugo that is, he'll drop to the bench now. And Robert McMullen, unfortunately for him, now finds himself completely out of the picture. So on the bench, we've Prince, Vidal Pereira, Ruben, Vidal Pereira, Hugo, Costa, Hefte, Mason and Butu Tal. Mason is a player who supposedly hit his peak, so I am open to signing a new winger, and that young Belgian, from Inter Milan may be that man, depending on what his stats look like. Milic, I will actually train as a cam now. I have altered the boots, so Tudor now has the silver boots, as he got the most assists last season, and Salem keeps his golden boot, as he won the accolade of most goals for the club last year, despite not being our highest goal scorer in the league. He did score more goals than anyone overall. Speaking of those statistics, I'll show up on screen now. As you're aware, friend of the channel Dave tracks the stats in these RTG series for us, and you can see on screen the statistics from Season 5. So Samar Salem now has a total of 134 career goals for the club in 212 appearances. Tudor with 84 and 154, and Bull with 72 in 214 appearances for the club. Lucas Bull is our most played player by 2 games. I'll also flick up onto your screen to see Butu Tal there with 28 goals so far in his 75 games. Also flick up on screen our club stats. You can see there that our career totals, we have played 257 games, won 130 of them, drawn 53, and lost 74. Scored very nearly 500 goals in this save so far, with 365 being conceded, an average of 1.8 goals per game scored, with a winning percentage of 50.5%. We basically win 1 in every 2. But if we're to challenge at the very top of the table, we're going to have to win more than 1 in every 2. So, may the Premier League, probably, hopefully, top 6 at least, challenge begin. Pre-season tournament has arrived. There is roughly £8 or so million available to us via this pre-season tournament to improve the budget, which we may well need if the scouts can find yet more first-team quality players. Big win against Inter Miami. Hefte with the final goal. Tudor, Pumphrey, Varling and Bull set the tone inside a minute as we get a 5-2 win. Internazionale and Napoli, the other 2 sides in our group, as you saw earlier on, and it should hopefully be pretty straightforward. I have listed a number of players onto the transfer list and onto the loan list as well, as, again, our squad is rather large. Do let me know where you would like me to send my youth scouts out, country-wise, and where you would like me to... Oh, Internazionale beat us. And where you would like me... Or what sort of player you would like me to look for when those scouts go out. That's going to be crucial to what potentially may happen moving further forward. A loan bid for Prince. Prince is obviously not in my starting lineup, nor now with the Marcelo regen is he in my Rotato side. I'd be open to just a 1-year loan deal for Prince, and if he could get some more first-team football, then maybe that could kickstart his career again. We'll wait and see. Transfer bid from Barcelona for Kovacic, but he stays. You guys are really keen that he gets another loan deal with us and some extended first-team football so that hopefully he can kick on again and grew by 8 last year, and we're hoping for him to grow by more again. Tudor missed a penalty but did score an equalising goal for us as Paul Pogba scored a goal for them, and I think with Internazionale beating Miami, that might be us through in second place in the group. It unfortunately was not. We have not progressed in the pre-season tournament, so minimal amount of funds for us from that competition, unfortunately. We did finish 3rd, in fact, Internazionale, with their win over us. saw themselves through. Fair enough, not to worry. Ball prize money have added an extra 1.8 million. That'll go a long way. A contract or two perhaps. Now we are getting some players come through here as potential first team quality from the scouts. Now obviously some of them aren't regens, so I'll remove them from the list, but there are, as you can see, potentially some spectacular players that are regens that might be options for us. So there won't be many of them. Oh, I could do with another right back. David Nodge, in you potentially may come, sir. There's rather a large amount of players here. I searched for up to the age of 25, I think, in this preseason, just to kind of include everybody that would be having started the career at the beginning of the save. Say they came through in season 1 and have grown since then. A number of central midfield players, but with the sort of pace that might be on offer with at least Federico Montes, maybe they could be wide players. Although I think if anyone's going to be wide, it looks like it's going to be Lewis van der Voort, and he's left-footed too, so he could replace he could replace Mason pretty well indeed, and David Noj could be an absolutely banging signing at right back. Especially if we can train those tackling stats. Slide tackle looks like it's already pretty decent. Stand tackle could do with some work, but we might have a couple of transfer targets on our watch list at the moment. I'm going to go at a loan bid for Cristiano Evaristo with an option to buy. No option to buy. We'll wait and see what happens with Ruben Prince, actually. I'll delegate that to a loan. And if Ruben Prince agrees to go to Sporting, then I will... Ruben Prince has agreed to go to Sporting. In which case, whatever happens, I'll retract the offer and we will keep Evaristo at the club. And he'll be in rotato at left back. Right, I will see you next, unless anything dramatic happens in the transfer window, as a FIFA goes out on loan to Argentina. I will see you next in that Community Shield game at Wembley, a stadium where we haven't actually lost a game yet. A 2-year loan deal for Josip Kovacic from Fiorentina. I will delegate and try and get just a 1-year loan deal from that, but he could get a decent amount of first team football at Fiorentina, and we have had a scout report back now on Lewis van der Voort, who is £36 million in valuation, but he's so damn quick. My God. Ball control, free kick accuracy, dribbling, all spectacular. I am keen, very, very keen to replace Mason with Van der Voort in my Rotato 11. Mason is currently 75 and has peaked, so I could look to sell him and bring Lewis van der Voort in. That might be absolutely spectacular. We currently have only 2 players in my youth setup, neither of which are actually any good at the moment, nor really do I think will they be, but signing from outside of the club might be the future. And Lewis van der Voort, being left-footed as well, looks like he could be an absolute belter. So we'll offer a transfer fee. They did say I could get him for as little as 34, so I'll offer in fact, let me offer Mason in there as well. He's worth 5.5. And let me propose a new transfer fee of like £28 million plus Mason. If they're interested in Mason, that would be banging. They're not interested in Mason, and they would only like a fee. So I will counter that. I said I could get him for as low as 34. I just accidentally accepted 42 by catching the wrong button. Fine, I'll pay 42. Not exactly how I wanted to spend my money, but it was going to be all of our budget regardless, wasn't it? So, looks like it will be just him coming in this window, unless we make some remarkable sale. But we would have had to have made a remarkable sale to be able to afford anyone else anyway. No release clause is fine by me. And now let's settle, talk about salaries. On 70 grand a week, and I can offer him quite a bit, but the AI, for some reason, always seem to accept something that's significantly lower than what they're already on, which is exactly what they've done there. Now, I was hoping to pay about 30 odd for him, because I don't even know how much Nodge would be, actually. So maybe we'll have to sell a couple of players to be able to afford anyone else. But Mason will leave us, and in comes Van der Voort to play on that left-hand side. He's down as a striker, but doesn't lose any boosts or anything by being played in that wide role. So I will actually look to now develop him as a left wing. And hopefully it shouldn't take too long to train him because his stats do look decent for a wide man. Let's have a look. Just 2 weeks. Perfection. Perfection. Right, deal done. Very pleased with that. Mason, I'm afraid, sir, that is your time coming to a close. You weren't amazing. He is transfer listed already, actually. That's perfect. So he'll leave us. Slight mishap with the transfer fee, but not to worry. Cristiano Evaristo, another loan bid for him, which I will now reject. He's going to continue to be my backup left back. And actually, if I had previously added him onto the loan list, I will take him off it. So I had done. Off he comes. Prince out on loan at Sporting. So Cristiano Evaristo will be my starting left back in Rotato. Right, I'm going to go back to training, and this time I'll see you at Wembley. A bid from Famalicão for Robert McMullen, who has continually always failed to hold down a first team spot. Now, if it frees up some extra funds to maybe go for that right back from Watford, I would absolutely be open, sorry Robert, to seeing him leave. I'm not going to be able to get much more than the 8 that they bid. I asked for 10 and they say no. Will they accept 9? And we still don't know yet what that... No, they don't want to pay anything more than 8. I'll accept it. We still don't know yet what the valuation is of the young Watford right back. But I'm waiting to hear, and hopefully we will hear very soon. Let me just swap those two over so that we can train the right players. And we'll very nearly actually now be at that game against Manchester City. Is that... No, that's Kovacic being loaned out. Let's see. Can we see a bit more of his stats? There are a couple of others popping up now. Nicolas Lusamba, also at Inter Milan. Looking like he could be a decent player to have a look at for a first-team quality player. Yeah, I'm liking the look of him. £18 million. Okay, there you go. We know his valuation now. 18 million. So I'm going to have to raise a little bit more if I want to bring him in this season. But not too much more. We're not going to have to raise too much more to be able to bring him in this year. That could be something we certainly could look to press on with. That said, we won't be able to press on with it if we can't sell the players that we need to sell to raise the funds. And Robert McMullen has rejected a contract offer from Famalicão, so he will be staying for the time being. I could, however, add him to the transfer list, so that might make him perhaps slightly more inclined to accept a transfer bid should another come in for him. So, sorry, my friend. Oh, he's actually already on the transfer list. Ah, okay. Maybe we might struggle to move him on. Vukoya is still loan listed, but no bids for him yet. You can see Costa and Vidal Pereira still there, while Holland and Milic now my 2 starting centre mids in centre mid and Cam in the Rotatos, or in the main side, sorry. And now, hopefully, I shall see you at Wembley. Vukoya is going to get that loan move, and it's going to be to Steaua Bucharest, isn't it? FC Steaua Bucharest in the Romanian league. So out he goes. Van der Voort's positional training is complete, and he will be an 82 rated winger. Bing! That's gone very well indeed. Rate that. Love that. Final scale report on David Nodge. 80 rated. Decent physicals. Would need training further with some defensive development plans, but certainly a right back option. A very good right back option. Santoro's currently my rotation right back. He's not actually a right back. And to be fair, Varling is only 77 rated. Although he's quick. And defensively, he would be better. Ooh, actually, would he be? With only 59 slide tackle, would he be better than the potential incoming Czech Nodge? Maybe I sell Varling. I'm not sure how to try and raise the funds for Nodge at the moment. McMullen wants to play in this one. I'm so sorry, mate. You have tried and tried and tried to find your way into this starting 11, and it will not work for you. We'll have a quick press conference. Raise the morale of players. I can't speak for him. It's his decision. I'm trying to make him leave the club, though. We need to breed a winning mentality this season, or bring a winning mentality, and we are here to win. We beat Manchester City at Wembley Last season, in the semi-final of the FA Cup, they won the league, we won the FA Cup, and that's why we're playing them again. Their starting lineup on the right, not at full strength, although still pretty damn strong. We are at full strength, so hopefully this should be a win for us, right? Lazovic, who also, intriguingly, has supposedly reached his peak. Despite being a Kolarov regen, he has peaked at 78 rated. So obviously it was a regen of Kolarov from his latter years rather than when he was at the peak of his playing powers. So we actually might need to look elsewhere for a left back moving forward as well. But again, financially, that might be a bit of a struggle. But at least, you know, it keeps the development of the club ticking over without making drastic changes and signing 5 or 6 brand new first team players each season, which we have done in previous saves, which can just completely churn the squad up. But a penalty given for handball there. Speaking of Lazovic, he's gone and gifted the opposition. Looked like his foot, not his arm. How he got his foot that high, I'm not sure. Excellent agility, but Anthony Martial, oh my lord, has not scored. He's Panenka'd it off the bar and it stayed out. Sterling with the overhead kick trying to follow up. And it was actually Lazovic that was underneath it that stopped Martial getting to it for a second time. But I don't think the keeper touched it. So Martial actually, by the law of the game, wasn't able to take another touch. Now, I could have a goal for Milic at the back post. But no, on unofficial debut, he doesn't score a goal. Good save by Zach Steffen. Quite an entertaining game, this Community Shield so far. Into Matias Gonzalez, who shrugs off 2 to drive forward. Still with great potential, Matias Gonzalez, despite not being massively high rated at the moment. Here's Milic, perfectly played to ball, and we lead. Milic with an assist on debut in that cam roll. And I feel like this 4-1-2-1-2 formation is playing pretty similar to the 4-4-2. But hopefully it offers us a little bit more solidity defensively and still the attacking ability to punish teams. We lead by a goal to 0 at Wembley. We're winning here again. And we're beating Manchester City at Wembley again. Despite the fact they always beat me in the league. At Wembley's, we're the winners. At least we're winning so far. Nice tackle in the midfield on Bernardo Silva. And as City press to try and get themselves back in the game, they could be the masterminds of their own undoing here. Salem timing the pass. Damian in on his left. And Steffen saves, trying to place it rather than power it. And not able to find the second. Phil Foden coming on for Doyle now. So some more first team faces arriving for City. To try and get themselves back in this. Milic. Speechless. Absolutely speechless. The assist was enough. But that flew into the far top corner. Unbelievable from Milic. It just drops to him nicely, but it's a long way out. The keeper perhaps unsighted, or it just travelled at such a pace that he wasn't able to get towards it. Welcome to the club, Mr. Milic. That could be a sign of things to come from our new cam roll player, Ivan. Wow. Struggling to find the space at the moment. Here's Bernardo Silva again. Oh, he's just floated it. I was waiting for him to actually properly turn onto his left. He didn't. He just floated it in from where he was. Sterling again doing well, but we've gotten the ball away. Varling forward quickly with Salem to Mulholland. And again, City's press is going to be their undoing. Bull was onside. I had to use him and not Tudor. And Bull rifles it home. A full-strength Barrow 3. A weakened Manchester City 0. This is going as you would have expected it to once you saw the team sheets. You can only beat what's in front of you, and beat them we are. Into Martial. Oh, tried to intercept it and couldn't get there. Smith is in. Varling does brilliantly. Oh! From the floor, Harry Kane-esque from Smith. That would have been a ridiculous goal. The swivel. wide of the target for City, but I almost wish that had gone in. They make another change. Martial going off. So this time a first team player off and a rotation player on as Jones enters the fray. But with 10 to go, City aren't going to be scoring 3. Although they might score a couple if my passing continues to be that bad. Smith to Jones. Oh, I thought I could get there with Jenkins. I couldn't. I just made a couple of changes and had literally just unpaused from making those changes as they went and scored that goal immediately. Obviously didn't quite react quickly enough when unpausing. It's a good finish though, and he's off the bench and he's done more than Anthony Martial already. Coming off the bench then for us. Oh, it was Ricky J. Jones. I didn't realise it was Ricky J. Jones. Milic off, and actually Van Voort is coming on. Van der Voort is coming on. And ball has moved to Cam. Hefte's on the right for Matias Gonzalez, and Vidal Pereira, Hugo obviously, is on for the central midfielder. Let's see what we can do. Hopefully we can hold off the attentions of Manchester City a little bit longer, and it would be nice to see what players like Van der Voort can actually do. Let's see if we can go on a bit of a run with him here. He's got great physicals and earns a foul at least from Bernardo Silva. A yellow card for him. Jenkins will take this short. He's left-footed, Van der Voort, isn't he? So I'm going to have to try and work him onto that side when he's on the ball. He's now popped up on the right-hand side. Dips inside, crosses the ball, looking for an assist on unofficial debut as Milic did. Milic getting that unbelievable goal as well. But provided we can stop City in their tracks here, although there's a handball in there, I think. If not there too, they might have the chance. I know the handball was the other way around. Okay, fair enough. Barrow 3, City 1. Your Community Shield winners. Barrow Football Club. Let's go. The FA Cup win last year was our first, quote-unquote, proper silverware. First official silverware. Up to the Premier League with some silverware, including a Championship playoff final trophy lift, into the Premier League and an FA Cup trophy lift, and in our second season in the Premier League we kick it off the right way by winning more silverware, the Community Shield in 2025-26 season. Barrow AFC. Let's go. Pumphrey lifts another trophy. Hopefully it's not going to be his last. As we approach the first Premier League game of the season, confirmation that Vukoya has gone out on loan to Steaua Bucharest. Santoro I have now sold to Eibar, and I've had a bid for Butu Tau. Now, Santoro was gone, so I need that rotation right back in. And I was looking at moving on Mason. But I've had no interest in Mason whatsoever. And Butu Tau is a player that we utilise out wide. Now, we've had a decent-sized bid here from Watford, who, interestingly, are the club that have the right-back we've got our eyes on in their ranks. Now, it reckons I could actually get up to about 25 for Butu Tau. He's not a massive fan favourite, I don't believe, judging by the way that the comment sections go, Butu Tau. So I am open to letting him go. I'll try and start a little bit higher and see if they'll come up that high. If they won't, we might have to settle for under 20. But under 20, I mean, even 17 would be enough to give me enough to go in for the right back Norwich. They'll give me 21, Watford. This could turn out to be the biggest transfer window that we've had in the save. I'm actually going to sim City this time and see how we get on. Their starting lineup is now obviously full strength. Now, what does this do for us with a sim here? Oh, I've done the interactive sim. Well done, Ches. I am, unfortunately... Oh, I have ballsed this up all the way through, haven't I? Let's... Oh, Ches, come on. Press the right button. I want to pause. I want to jump to results. And you get a 0-0 draw. Jesus Christ, I made a meal of that, didn't I? A 0-0 draw against Manchester City with the sim then. And as we press on in the Premier League, a bid for Mason now of 7.3 million from Anderlecht. Now, it looks more like Mason's going to stay depending on what happens there. I will wait I will wait and not accept that until we know exactly what's going to happen with Butu Tau and Watford. Butu Tau has been sold, meaning that we certainly now will not sell Mason. He'll go into the Rotato side on the right-hand side of midfield. Ball's been drafted in there for the time being, but we will put Mason there. And currently, at right-back, is Pumphrey. But we'll take him out for Vidal Pereira. In fact, Jenkins is drafted in there, so he can go there. And then, well, what I need now is that rotation right-back. So, now we have the finances available to do it after the sale of Santoro and Butu Tau. Let's go and get that done. David Nudge, would you like to come and join us here at Barrow? I reckon I'm going to have to pay upwards of his valuation at 20 million to get him in. But we'll see if they're open to negotiation at all. We have just sold them one of our own players. 24.3 I certainly could afford. If I can save a little bit, then I will do so. 22.6 I'm quite happy to accept. Thank you very much. And he wasn't on much a week, was he? £32,000. That's perfectly agreeable for a Premier League level player. I'll say rotation. Okay, I'll say important. I wanted to say... Fumbling my way through today's episode, aren't I? Can you tell I'm using a new controller? It's a bit obvious, really, isn't it? I'm not quite up to speed with it yet. It's a different shape to the previous one I was using. I was using an Xbox One Scuff. I'm now using an Xbox Series X controller, and it certainly feels different and looks different too. I'll offer him 30, and he should probably accept that. They did get relegated last year, didn't they, of course, Watford? Finishing bottom of the table. And we have a new right-back. Now, you guys will have to let me know whether he starts or whether he's purely rotation. At present, I'm not sure who should start and who should be rotation. Nodge and Varling. I'll give you a quick overview of their stats. So, I'm not sure exactly which. Let me bring my software up, which way I need to move to get out of the way. So, you can see there that pace-wise, it's Varling. Physically, it's Varling, but everywhere else, it's Nodge. Defensively, they're level, and Varling with his boosts is better. But technically, it's very... I mean, that's easy enough. That's a straightforward decision, isn't it? Nodge comes into the starting lineup. Varling will now be our rotation right back. And Varling will drop to the bench here. Menezes will be off the bench entirely, and Nodge will come in. I'll go and add a development plan to him, and then we will head towards the Manchester United game. But that may as well happen in the next episode. That will be all for today. 3 signings, unexpected, but 3 brand new signings in this episode. So with Manchester United, Leicester and Arsenal left to play this month, and the summer transfer window to be completed. And then we should actually find out who we get in the Europa League group stage at the end of tomorrow's episode as well. Right, that's all for today. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Drop the video a like if you've enjoyed. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out any more of this 6th season, as we hopefully will be challenging towards the top end of the table this year, and in Europe too. I'll see you next time.